Welcome back to the Mid Podcast, the show where we love wrestling, but we don't always love wrestling fans. Today's episode is inspired by my guy Reese from across the pond from the Weekly Steel Chair. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to him. The link will be down low. Who threw out a fantastic discussion topic. So, shout out Reese. Because today I'm talking about something that affects literally every wrestling conversation online. And as you can see in the title, why can't wrestling fans separate opinions from objectivity? Seriously, tell someone you don't like their favorite wrestler, and then suddenly you're accused of not understanding psychology, being a WWE shield, being an AEW cultist, living in the Attitude Era, being a casual, being a smart, or just plain out being too smart. Apparently, you can never simple say, that wrestler, they're just not for me. Oh, no. Everything becomes, you don't understand the business. So, today I'm going to discuss why this happens, why social media made it much, much worse, and why everyone thinks they're Dave Meltzer, and how wrestling might actually be one of the hardest fandoms on earth to have a normal conversation in. I would have to say they're probably tied with Star Wars. But anyway, let's dive into it. So, opinions, guess what, people? Opinions are not facts. But fans, you treat them like they are court evidence in a trial. And here's the biggest issue. Fans confuse three completely different things. There's facts, opinions, and preference. Those are not the same. For example, fact, Roman Reigns was WWE champion for over 1,300 days. That's measurable. An opinion, Roman's title reign became repetitive. A preference, I don't enjoy Roman Reigns. However, only one of those can actually be proven. Yet online, people argue all three like they're identical. You'll hear, Roman isn't good. That's not objective. It's an opinion. Someone else says, Roman is the greatest ever. Still an opinion. Neither side is wrong. It's just their preference. So, another example. Will Ospreay, the Arrow Assassin. Fact, he's incredibly athletic. Opinion, he tells amazing stories. Preference, I don't enjoy flippy wrestling. That's not true, but I'm just giving you an example. Those aren't contradictions. You can recognize talent while not enjoying watching it. Some fans cannot comprehend this concept. It's like saying, I know filet mignon is expensive. I'd still rather eat pizza. Congratulations. You just understood preference better than half of Twitter. So, here's something fascinating. Every favorite wrestler becomes personal. Fans don't just like wrestlers, they become emotionally invested. If someone criticizes your favorite wrestler, it feels like they're criticizing you. That's why conversations escalate so quickly. I don't think Kenny Omega connects emotionally. Response, so you hate great matches? No, that is not what they said. I think Cody Rhodes is overrated. Response, you don't understand storytelling. Again, no. It's identity. Being an AEW fan, being a WWE fan, being a New Japan fan, being an old school fan, or an indie fan. Those become identities instead of entertainment preferences. Once identity gets involved, logic, well, it just flew out the window. Now, think about sports. Someone says, I don't like LeBron. Most NBA fans shrug. Someone says, I don't like Kenny Omega. These YouTuber essays appear. you get 5 Reddit threads emerging, and someone starts citing cage match ratings. So let's talk about the favorite argument that everyone loves to talk about. Star ratings broke people's brains. Oh, star ratings. 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, 8 stars. Apparently, we're measuring wrestling on the Richter scale now. Dave Meltzer has opinions. Good opinions, experienced opinions, educated opinions, still opinions. Does not mean they're fact. Does not mean they are gospel. Does not mean they're written in stone. They are not the commandments of wrestling. Yet fans say, this match got 5 stars. Okay, cool. Did you enjoy it? Because that's the only opinion you actually own. Sometimes I'll hear, this match is objectively incredible. Based on what? Work rate, selling, psychology, the crowd, athleticism, emotion. Different fans, we all value different things. That's why art is subjective. One fan loves Bret Hart, Reese. Another fan loves Jeff Hardy. Neither is wrong. They're grading different things. So, tribalism is the real heel in all of this. Social media, well, they reward conflict. They don't reward discussion. If I tweet, I enjoyed both Raw and Dynamite, nobody cares. If I tweet Raw buried Dynamite, I will have 5,000 comments. Algorithms, well, they don't reward nuances, they reward war. So every conversation becomes AEW versus WWE, Gunther versus Ospreay, Cena versus Cody, Punk versus the Elite. Everything has to have a winner. Sometimes both things, they can be good. I know it's a crazy concept. Maybe you should try to wrap your brain around it a few times. Fans think admitting another company did something well somehow hurts their own. Imagine saying, I like an AEW match. WWE Tribalistic Panic. Say, I enjoy WWE. The AEW Sickos Panic. Guys, you don't own stock. Relax. Okay. Confirmation bias is booking half the internet. Fans notice evidence supporting what they already believe. If they think Triple H is terrible, every booking decision proves it. If they think Tony Khan is a genius, every decision proves that too. Same event, different conclusions. Example, a wrestler loses. One fan says they're buried. Another says they're telling a story. Another says, well, they're just protecting them. Another says, oh, well, they're leaving the company. Sometimes the answer is they lost. That's it. Nothing more. Here's where I think people may get lost in this. Wrestling is an art, not algebra. Wrestling isn't math. Thank God, because I'm terrible at math. That is why I'm a historian. There isn't one correct answer. Who's better? Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, Ric Flair. The answer depends on what you value. Athleticism, storytelling, selling in the ring, promos, longevity, innovation, charisma. If I say I'd rather watch Randy Savage than Kenny Omega, that's a preference. Not that I would ever say that, but it's just a preference. There's no disrespect to either competitor. If someone says they'd rather watch Vikingo, that's okay too. Vikingo's cool to watch. Nobody wins those debates because they're debating taste, not real substance issues. So here's what I would love wrestling fans to start saying. I disagree instead of you're objectively wrong, because objectivity has limits. Yes, there are facts: attendance, ratings, championship reigns, ticket sales, match time, historical records. Those are objective. But enjoyment, connection, emotion, excitement, those, well, they belong to the fan and the viewers. If wrestling teaches us anything, it's that different characters connect with different audiences. And guess what? That is okay, people. That is how wrestling is supposed to work. One person's goat is another person's channel changer. That's okay. You don't have to get upset about it and have a heart attack over it or raise your blood pressure. You don't have to convince everyone to love your favorite wrestler. Just enjoy them. And maybe, just maybe, stop treating every wrestling debate like you're arguing a case in front of the Supreme Court. Again, a huge shout out to my guy Reese from the Weekly Steel Chair for inspiring today's discussion. It was a fantastic topic, so go check him out. As I said, the link will be down in the comments. And, well, at the end of the day, we all love wrestling. We just don't always love agreeing about wrestling, which, honestly, that's part of what makes being a fan so much fun. So, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, share it with that friend who thinks every Dave Meltzer rating is carved into stone tablets, or send it to someone who replies, actually, to literally every wrestling opinion. Also, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. So until next time, please remember, yes, your opinion matters. It just isn't automatically a proven fact. And neither is mine. So I will see you next time, right here on the Mid Podcast. Thanks for listening.